guys, this is Chase Dynamite, and we're continuing my Harry Potter reviews, the series reviews. And let's start with number 5, Order of the Phoenix. But before I do, I want to say that ever since Goblet of Fire, the deaths of Harry Potter are getting kind of sad. Really sad. Even some of the characters we all love, that from some of the early Harry Potters, and now they're all dying. It's really sad. Anyway, let's start with number 5, and there's going to be a sad death in here. It's after all over. So Harry Potter gets attacked by Dementors in the Muggle world, and he uses magic, and he's hereby expelled from Hogwarts. But it turns out that he's actually gonna have a trial instead to see actually, and he makes it through the trial and is able to go to Hogwarts. Sorry, it's energy. And Voldemort is starting to invade Harry Potter's mind. I think you know the rest. Well, I like this movie too. I remember seeing it in theaters, and it was really good. It's actually even though it's PG-13, it doesn't have some inappropriate scenes a little bit. It's actually pretty funny still like humorous and stuff. And I also like Luna Lovegood. I don't know if people hate her, but sometimes when they mention her, it's kind of like, ugh, prehistoric. Luna Lovegood. She's actually a really funny character, and she's actually played really well. Also, Sirius is back in this movie, and so is Professor Lupin. However, Sirius dies in this. It's really sad. He's killed by Bellatrix Lestrange, played by Helena Bonham Carter, aka partner of Tim Burton. And we have some new Death Eaters in this. Overall, we have some interesting creatures like these meat carnivore unicorn things. I forgot what they're called. And we also have some centaurs and a giant. And we have another house elf, but he's not a friendly one like Dobby. So the humor is really funny in this. The creatures are creative, and the dramatic scenes in this are really sad. So I'll give this 5 stars. Now we'll move on to Half-Blood Prince, and it's probably my least favorite of Harry Potter. Mostly because there's not as much like creatures and stuff, and it's a little too funny. It is kind of funny, but sometimes the jokes don't work really well. However, the scenes that do have creatures are pretty creative, and it's sad too, and it tells Harry teaches Harry about the Horcruxes, and that 2 are already down, and they have still more to go. And Dumbledore dies in this. And when it ended, I was like, what? That was it? Yeah, I was like that. And it's also pretty dark. The colors in this are kind of like grayish and stuff, and it's less colorful. However, this is still a decent movie, so I'll give this 4 stars. Now we'll move on to the more action-packed ones, the last 2 of this franchise. First, we start off with Deathly Hallows Part 1, and there are a lot more people who die in this. Like, we have Mad-Eye Moody. We have We have Luna's father, and the Minister of Magic. And the most saddest one in this, and I'm really sad about, is Dopey. He was really good. He was a really good character in Chamber of Secrets, and I really feel bad for him. And he was one of my favorite characters in Harry Potter. May he rest in peace for being a free elf. In this, Harry and Ron and Hermione are trying to destroy the next Horcrux, and it's a locket from Slytherin. And the group starts separating a lot. Like Harry and Hermione come to where Harry's parents died and where he was born, Godric's Hollow. And it's a really creative town for some reason, even though it's like dark and stuff. Still, for some reason, I can't stop thinking about Godric's Hollow. It's actually a really interesting town, also a creepy town. And my favorite segment in this, my favorite thing, is the Tale of the Three Brothers animation. Hermione does a really good job at narrating, and the visuals in that are really cool. Because I love Tales of Beedle the Bard. As you saw, that was my first review and my first video. And it's actually one of my favorite stories in the Harry Potter. Tales of Beedle the Bard. And it's really dark and stuff. And I also really like the things they do in this. Also, we find out that Ron and Hermione are getting through a bigger relationship, and so is Harry is doing that. There's a lot of good things in this movie. The visual effects are awesome. The story is awesome. There are a few funny moments, and the animation scene in this is really phenomenal. And the new actors and the sadness in this is really good and heartbreaking. So I give this film 5 stars. Now we'll move on to the final one, but people say is the best, and I couldn't agree more. It's actually there are a few others that I think are the best, but yes, this still comes really as much close. In this Harry, a lot of people die. Fred, Professor Lupin, Nymphadora, and many others, and they are really sad. You never thought they would die. In this, we see the Chamber of Secrets again. We also see the Basilisk skeleton rotting. And we find out the relationship between Ron and Hermione. We see them that they finally like each other. And Harry has really come really far. And I really like the Resurrection Stone scene with Sirius, Professor Lupin, and Harry's parents. And also, some of this is really heartbreaking. But the visual effects are really awesome. Like the Elder Wand, and many other things. And the Resurrection Stone. And we find out that Harry Potter already has one of the Deathly Hallows, I think. He has his invisibility cloak, which sadly doesn't appear in this. We also find out that some of the scenes with Harry and Voldemort, that they are more strong and stuff, and they just really stand out, and they are really clever. And another thing in this that I like is Neville Longbottom's speech. Neville was one of the funniest and one of the greatest characters in Harry Potter that always got bullied a lot. And in this, he really makes a good speech that when people think Harry died, makes a good speech to stand up to Voldemort. In fact, at the end, he literally plays an important role because he kills the last Horcrux. Well, almost the last Horcrux because Harry is one of the Horcruxes too. But he kills the snake with Godric Gryffindor's sword. And that's really a good character development. And we see another dragon in this. It's the Ukrainian... I forgot what it was called. Sorry. But overall, this... Oh, by the way, I forgot. My mom cried during this scene. Snape dies in this. Yeah. And we see that he really was a hero. In fact, in this one scene, Harry goes into like a water pot, and he finds out some of the memories between Lily, his mother, and his father. I mean, Harry's mother and Harry's father. And we find out the relationship with all of them, and we see a lot of callbacks to some of the original Harry Potter scenes. And sometimes I really like flashbacks to other things in a movie or a TV show. That's really creative. But overall, this movie is awesome, and it's really heartbreaking too. So I give this a 5-star rating. I wish I could give it more, but that's the highest it can get. So that was my reviews of the Harry Potters, and I hope you see why I like these movies, and they are phenomenal, and I will always watch these, especially because I've seen these all my childhood. They were a part of my childhood. And this is why I like Warner Brothers too, because of these movies, and because they are really great at making book adaptations, from like when I reviewed Wizard of Oz to these movies. I hope you enjoy these movies as much as I do, and I hope Potterheads will still continue on, even though the movies are over. Potterheads will never stop existing because there are still fans of these movies, and I couldn't agree more to be a part of them. I hope you enjoy my reviews, and come back next time as I do some more reviews. Like, we'll do a review of one of the worst TV shows I've ever seen, Brain Surge, and we'll review one of the worst movies I've ever seen, Sanctum. Then we'll review A Double Rainbow. It's a My Little Pony fan fiction, and I'll do a couple other things. Until then, this is Chase Dynamite signing out, and I hope you enjoy my review. By the way, if you see these movies, you see these Harry Potter movies, you'll find out why I like dragons and why my profile picture on YouTube is a dragon. Especially because another reason I like dragons is because they're actually greedy. I don't usually like greedy, but they pull it off really well with European dragons in this. Well, this is Chase Johnny signing out, and this dragon's gotta fly.